Welcome back to another Pokemon challenge. It's King Dong here, where today we find out if I can beat Pokemon Fire Red with only one Shellder. Pokemon Emerald with only Sphere was absolutely brutal, especially the third gym and the champion. But anyway, let's talk a bit more about Shellder. The base stats for Shellder are extremely terrible. Its special defense is only 25 and its hit points are 30. But it makes up for this with its defense at an amazing 100. Shellder learns 5 attacking moves by level up, but only 1 water move, which is Clamp at level 43. It can, however, learn quite a few moves by TM, such as Water Pulse, Blizzard and Double Team. Shellder can also learn the HM Surf. We also have weaknesses to both Grass and Electric types. As always, this is being written before I go through the challenge. This part, however, is being written before I start. How do you think I'm going to get on? I think I'm going to really struggle with Lieutenant Surge's Electric Gym and Erica's Grass Gym. Let me know if you think I can win or not. The rules are, only Shellder to be used in battle, others for HMs, no glitches or exploits, and no items in battle except held items and Pokeballs. Straight away I've used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Squirtle with Shellder, as I think Venusaur will give us the greatest difficulty. I named Shellder Arthur Carr. It should have been Curry, but I miscounted the number of letters, so this is a great start. Anyway, Shellder has a bold nature, so more defense and less attack. We start off the first rival battle with Croden. The only attacking move we know is Tackle, and due to our high defense, this is not hard at all, and we get the win. I go and grind in Vermilion Forest and keep getting poisoned, and I don't always make it back to the Pokemon Center before blacking out. But anyway, we eventually get to level 9 and learn Icicle Spear. We get to the optional rival battle with Croden. Now we have a super effective move for both his Pokemon. However, his Pidgey lands Sand Attack, and I miss so many times, but we take it out in the end. Last up, Bulbasaur. I miss so many times and finally land an Icicle Spear, as we go down to half health. We then miss a few more, but get the win in the end. We then head to Pewter and go straight to the gym at level 11. And this is the easiest time we've ever had in this gym, which means this run is probably going to get a lot harder. But anyway, we land 5 times with Icicle Spear and Geodude goes down to red. 1 more and it goes down. Up next is Onix. It lands a bind as I hit 3 times with Icicle Spear. He gets another bind off as I land another 3 and it lives on a sliver. I then think it'll go down to 1 tackle, but it takes 2. But anyway, we still get the win. We get to Cerulean City and head straight for the gym, and I get absolutely destroyed by Misty. So I head to the rival battle instead and lose there as well. I think it's time to grind. I then head back to the third rival battle with Croden at level 22. We've also learnt Aura Beam at 22, which is more powerful than Icicle Spear, and we take out Pidgeotto. Next is Bulbasaur, and 2 Aura Beams takes it down. Next is Abra, who only uses Teleport, so you know it goes down as well. Last is Rattata. It goes down with 1 Aura Beam and a Tackle. I try Misty again, and I lose. So I head down to Vermilion City and take out all the trainers on the way, and clear out most of the trainers off of the SS Anne. Then, at level 31, we head back and finally get the win. We knock out Staryu with an Aura Beam and a critical tackle. Last is Starmie. We managed to get the confusion with the Supersonic and it hits itself so many times, it's unreal. But it's very good for us. Anyway, it goes down to a few tackles. It's now time for the rival battle on the SS Anne. Pidgeotto is the lead and tanks an Aurora Beam and lives on 1 health. It lands a Gust and goes down to a tackle. Ivysaur takes an Aura Beam and it lands a Sleep Powder and puts us to sleep. Luckily, I gave Arthur a Chesto Berry so he woke straight up. Anyway, the next Aura Beam takes it out. Next is Raticate. 1 Aura Beam and a tackle and it goes down. Last up is Kadabra. 1 Aura Beam and a Water Pulse and it goes down, giving us the win. Vermilion City Gym is next with Lieutenant Surge, and his Raichu is just way too powerful, so it's time to grind up a few levels. We grind up on Route 11 until we hit level 40. Then we return to the gym. Surge leads off with Voltorb. It goes down to a Water Pulse. Pikachu is also a one-shot with Water Pulse. Raichu is last. We use a Water Pulse and an Aurora Beam. It takes it down to low health. Surge uses a Super Potion, but 2 more Water Pulses and we get the win. We now move on to the rival battle in Pokemon Tower. Pidgeotto is nearly always a one-shot, but Ivysaur isn't. And it either slams us with a critical Razor Leaf or a Vine Whip. So the Gyarados will always take us out. So I head to Silph Co and grind up on all the Rocket members and then head into Giovanni. Giovanni starts off with Onix and it's a one-shot. Next is Rhyhorn and it's also a one-shot. Last out is Kangaskhan and we use a mix of Aurora Beam, Water Pulse and Tackle. We then head back to Pokemon Tower and it's a really good run. Pidgeotto is a one-shot. Ivysaur lives on red health. 1 more Aurora Beam and it's out. Gyarados is next, 3 Aura Beams and a Tackle and it's down, but we're only on 7 HP. Growlithe is a one-shot with Water Pulse. We also one-shot Kadabra with a Water Pulse. We then head into Erica and it's nearly a one-shot sweep with Ice Beam. Vileplume, however, lives on 1 HP and paralyses us with a Stun Spore. Erica uses a Hyper Potion as we get fully paralysed. However, the next Ice Beam takes it out, giving us the next badge. We then head to the fighting gym and I beat the Master, so we get to pick one of the Pokemon. So I thought I'd let you know that I picked Hitmonchan, because if I didn't say, I knew you'd ask. But now that I think about it, ask anyway, it's good for the channel. Rival time in Silph Co, and as always we're struggling with Croden's Venusaur. So I grind up on all the rockets in the building and it's still not enough. So I think I'm going to head down to Fuchsia and see Koga. We get to Fuchsia City and head to the Safari Zone, pick up the Gold Teeth and the HM for Surf and Strength. We then take on Koga and the first coffin's a one-shot with Surf. Next out is Muck and we use a mix of Surf, Ice Beam and Tackle. We also get poisoned by a Sludge, but we take it out before we can go down. Out next is the second coffin, and it's also a one-shot with Surf. Last is Weezing, 2 Surfs, and we get the win. Back to Croden in Silph Co. I get out 1 double team, and then land an Ice Beam and go for a Tackle to get the win. But it lives, a second Tackle gets us the win. Out next is Venusaur. We land an Ice Beam and get a Freeze, so I got up 2 more double teams. Then get the knockout with another Ice Beam. Gyarados is out next and we land 2 Ice Beams and get another Freeze. How lucky for us. 2 more Ice Beams and it's down. Up next is Growlithe and that's a one-shot with Surf. And last is Alakazam. 1 Tackle, 1 Surf, finally giving us the win. We then move on to Giovanni. He starts off with Nidorino, 2 Ice Beams and it's down. Next out is Nidoqueen. That's 2 Surfs and then it goes down. We then have Kangaskhan, 1 Ice Beam and a critical Surf, and that is also down. Last is Rhyhorn, and that's a one-shot with Surf. Now it's time for Sabrina. Sabrina's up. Kadabra and Mr. Mime are one-shots with Return. Venomoth is out, and it goes down to 1 HP with a Return. Sabrina uses a full heal, and this went on for 2 turns. Then she'd run out of them, and the next turn, Return takes it out. Last out is Alakazam. It uses Calm Mind to raise its special attack and special defense, but it goes down to a one-shot from Return. Blaine's Fire Gym, and it's a one-shot sweep for Growlithe, Ponyta and Rapidash. Last out is Arcanine. We land a Surf and it lives on red health. He then lands a massive Fire Blast, taking out half our hit points. Blaine then uses a Hyper Potion. This goes on for 2 turns. But then we do get the knockout. 8th gym with Giovanni himself. Rhyhorn is out first and it's a one-shot with Surf. Dugtrio's next out and it outspeeds and lands a weak Earthquake. We then get the knockout with a Surf. Nidoqueen also goes down to a Surf, and it's the same fate for Nidoking. The second Rhyhorn is next, and guess what? That's right, another one-shot with Surf. Now it's time for the second to last rival battle with Croden. This takes us quite a few attempts, so we have to grind up to level 80, and then we get this run. Croden starts off with his Pidgeot, who is a one-shot with Ice Beam. Next he sends out Venusaur, who's also a one-shot with Ice Beam with a lucky crit. Out next is Rhyhorn, who, believe it or not, is another one-shot, but it's with Surf. Now is his Gyarados, 3 Ice Beams and it goes down. Next up is Growlithe, and that's right, another one-shot with Surf. Last out is Alakazam, and that is also a one-shot with Surf. It's now time to comment down below and let me know if you think I can beat the Elite Four. Let's do this. Lorelei, the Ice Trainer, is up first, and Dugong uses Safeguard as we get up 2 double teams. It also lands an Ice Beam. I then use Return twice for the knockout. Next out is Cloyster, and it uses Protect. The next turn we use a Return as it sets up the Hail. I use another double team thinking that I use Protect again, but it uses Spikes. But we only have one Pokemon, so that's a wasted turn for them. This time it uses Protect as we get another double team up, and it manages to get another Protect up as we go for a Return. As we land a Return, it dives underwater, so I use another double team. One Surf and it goes down. What a stalling set it has. Up next is Slowbro. We go for a Surf as it uses Amnesia. 2 more Returns and it's down. Jinx is a one-shot return, and last out is Lapras. We use a Return for just under half health. I then use Surf healing Lapras due to its ability. How stupid do I feel now? 2 Returns and Lapras is down to the red. Lorelei then uses a full restore as we land an Ice Beam for a tiny amount of damage. 2 more Returns and another full restore later. We are confused, so we hit ourselves. And then land a Return. 2 more and we get the win. We heal up our power points between battles as this is allowed in the rules. Next is Bruno, the fighting type trainer. First out is Onyx, who's a one-shot with Surf. Hitmonchan is next and we land 1 Return, and he misses a Rock Tomb. Next turn and he uses a full heal. Another 2 Returns and it's down. Out next is Hitmonlee, and that's a one-shot with Return. Next is Machamp. 1 Return takes it to just over half health, and an Ice Beam then lowers it to about 1/4. 1 last Surf and it goes down. Last out is his second Onyx, and that is a one-shot with Surf. Again we heal up and move on to the next member of the Elite Four, Agatha, the Ghost Trainer. She leads off with her first Gengar. We both use double team. I then use 2 Surfs and it goes down. Golbat is next. I use Ice Beam and it lives on red health and gets full restored next turn. We then land a Return for just over half health and another Return and it's down. Now is Arbok. 2 Surfs and it's down. Her second Gengar is out, and I land a Surf for just over half health and land a critical Surf for the knockout. Last Pokemon out is Haunter. We land a Surf and it goes to the red. It gets full restored and then 1 shot with an Ice Beam for the win. We heal up our power points and move on to the last member of the Elite Four, Dragon Trainer Lance, who leads off with his Gyarados. 1 Ice Beam and 2 Returns and it's down. We one-shot the first Dragonair and the second one lives on red health as it uses Safeguard and then gets full restored. 1 more Ice Beam and a Surf and it gets knocked out. Next is Dragonite. We land an Ice Beam, leaving it on the red. It then slams us with an Outrage, leaving us on only 23 hit points. 1 more Ice Beam and it's down. Last is Aerodactyl. It lands an Ancient Power and we land a Surf and it lives on 1 HP. Launches a full restore and we land another Surf for the win. Next up is the Pokemon Champion. This is the final chance to comment down below and let me know if I can do this or not. Let's do this. Croden sends out Pidgeot. We land an Ice Beam as it uses Sand Attack. We then land a Return for the knockout, but Venusaur one-shots us with a Solar Beam because we miss our first Ice Beam. We're currently at level 86, so I think if we get up to level 95, we should be able to one-shot the Pidgeot and take out the Venusaur. So let's grind. We return at level 96, as we needed to beat the Elite Four again. So we win, and here's how. We get up one double team and land an ice beam. Croden then uses a full restore as we land a return. A second one and Pidgeot goes down. Out next is Venusaur. We land an ice beam for nearly 3/4 health as it takes in sunlight. One more ice beam and it's down. Next up is Alakazam. It outspeeds and leaves us on 69 health. Nice. One return and we get the knockout. We then one-shot Rhydon with Surf, and it's now Gyarados time. One ice beam and 2 returns and it goes down. Last out is Arcanine, who's also a one-shot with Surf. Arthur Carr is then entered into the Hall of Fame, and we've done it. This challenge on the whole wasn't that bad, but we had to grind for Misty, Surge, and of course the champion. I've already started work on the next challenge, but as always, if you have any ideas, comment down below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. Also, if you want more Pokemon challenges from me, check out the playlist, the link's in the description below. Until next time, that's King Dong, out.